Hi everyone, welcome to the video lessons on IELTS Writing Task 2 by the IMPACT IELTS. So let's start with some of the most important features of this class that will help you have the maximum learning at the end of this course. I have gained all these experiences by teaching students, and I have garnered all these ideas and I have incorporated these features considering the challenges an IELTS taker faces during the test, right? So let's try to go through this approaches that I have adopted in this particular course. First, my approach will be totally practical. What I mean by practical here, that it can be easily practicable by any candidate who is taking this video course. Number two, the size of the videos have been cut short, keeping in mind that at least you are able to end up by getting one important or targeted lesson from one particular video. Examples are always given with each approach. So whenever I talk about a particular approach while writing or while preparing for the test, I have always combined it with an example so that you can easily understand how it can be practiced, and that is why I call it a practical approach. Next is students oriented learning. So whenever I have planned this lesson, I always consider myself, or I always put myself in place of a student, and I start taking everything from a student's perspective. It helps me design the course as if it has been designed by a student who is preparing or planning to prepare for IELTS test. And linking with previous video always help you to relate you when a new video starts. It will help you relate with the previous lessons and previous videos so that lessons can be a bit clearer for the course tour. And finally, detailed description has been given in the slides as well. So for example, if you want to revise the course later on and you don't want to watch the video there, I will provide you a PDF format. So you just go through the PDF format of this all slides and you'll almost get 99% of the ideas, because I have tried to write the description in all the slides, so which is easily understandable even if you're not listening to the video part. So let's try to start it with some basic information which you need to have before you start this course, right? The first one, it appears third in the written test. I'll say written test. Written test means the listening, reading, and the writing part. Speaking part is known as spoken test. So in the written test, it will appear third, means at first listening and then reading, and finally written task appears. So I have written it short here. You can see listening, writing. Okay, sorry, it should be R. So it should be listening, reading, and writing. And it appears second in the writing test, and I have put a question mark here. It is considered, it is recommended, it is suggested, but actually you get the entire writing test together. But generally it is recommended that you will attempt writing task 1 first and then writing task 2. That is why it is written that appears second in the writing test, right? You have to write minimum 250 words in that on the answer sheet, and essay writing on the topic of general interest. But anything, for example, you see the environment is or has been badly damaged. So they may ask you a question: do you think that development is less important in comparison with the environmental losses. So perhaps something like this. So general interest, anybody can figure out what exactly can be the answer, right? So that is what you have to keep in mind. So you don't have to be panic about the topic if you have a general understanding. If you have been a student up to class 12 level, perhaps you have idea about the topic. Not factual, that's again important. They're not going to ask you any facts. For example, they're not going to ask you a question, do you think that the ancient history have really been productive for us in terms of information they provided? Perhaps you don't, they are not expecting you to write down the facts about the ancient history, right? So, or they're not going to ask you like how the human being evolves since its origin. They're not going to ask you. So nothing is asked about the fact. It's all about the discursive, means whatever is asked that takes or that checks your opinion on a particular topic, right? um, no idea is good or bad for examiner as long as you can prove it through logic and or example. You're getting the point. So you can't say, wow, what a brilliant idea. They don't need brilliant idea. They just need an idea, but it must be supported by logic and proved through example. That's required. You have to write your answer on the given answer sheet. Means they'll give you one answer sheet in which you will have to write down your answer. You can find a simple, I'll send you this simple answer sheet with the PDF format of these slides. You can have a look and you can see how does it look like. Or you can find it on any online. If you just write IELTS writing task 2 simple answer sheet, you can find a lot online. So although 40-minute time is recommended for this task, you can manage your time as you wish. Total time for the entire writing section is 60 minutes for 2 writing tasks. But again, it is recommended that you should spend about 20 minutes time in task 1 and 40 minutes time task 2. But that's not a compulsion. That's not a rule. This is what is recommended. But I must tell you that you should not spend more time in task 1 because it has got less importance as far as the scoring or band skills are concerned. 5 different types of questions are asked. That I'll see. I mean, maybe the categorizations of questions vary from tutor to tutor. That's it's a possibility, but I believe that 5 different types of questions are asked, and I'll explain that um, in given slides. You can write with pen or pencil, although pencil is recommended because it helps you in erase something and insert something if you like. The questions of general training can be less formal in style than academic. That means the academic task can be a bit more theoretical, and general questions can be a bit, I'll say, less formal or more practical. Okay, so that's all about the basic information and my approach in this particular video lessons. Thank you very much for watching this video. Bye for now.